The seminary, a place of higher education and learning, for thinking and studying, and pontificating on the subject of the divine, and to some degree, learning how to be a pastor of a church. Although there's not as much overlap between the ivory tower learning and the classroom of the local church as you might imagine. One of the more memorable days during my first pastoral internship was the day we mowed the softball field behind the church. Long overgrown, Mr. Quinn had donated the services of his tractor and huge mower deck for the task. But he needed a guide to walk the field ahead of him in case tree saplings or other large obstacles needed to be cleared out of the way. So, as the young and enterprising intern, I was given an axe, which I was told would also be good for handling any snakes that might be disturbed by our project, to work ahead of the tractor. Fortunately for me, there was only one real tree that needed to be cut back, and no snakes came across my path. Now, draw as I might from my readings of St. Augustine, Immanuel Kant, Soren Kierkegaard, Karl Barth, and other theologians, I could not recall any theological topics that would have covered that day's pastoral task. The pastor job, you see, in its description, has one of the most inclusive other duties as assigned or needed clauses in all of the professional landscape. The common tagline associated with these unexpected duties that include using sledgehammers or hatchets or axes is, well, they didn't teach us this in seminary. And over the last 12 years, duties have involved anything from intermediate IT work to carpentry, crisis management to basic chemistry, architecture, to legal advice, financial planning, to plumbing basics. It's pretty wild what life can bring. Someday, closer to my retirement, I plan to be an adjunct professor to teach a class that covers some of these important lessons from the classroom of life. I want to call it Not Taught in Seminary. For now, though, I utilize my final few weeks at each church to reflect in a sermon series about what their parish has taught me and reinforced in my own learning. I hope you will join us on May 3rd, May 10th, and May 31st for the three-part series. We'll talk about sacramental living, not just performing baptisms and offering communion like you learn about in theology classes, but seeing the holy mystery of God's presence in all that we do in life. We'll talk about plumbing. Yes, there are some basic needs that arise from managing a building and living in a physical world. And the 3 G's lesson, I'm calling it, being thoughtful about grief, graduations, and goodbyes, all sacred parts of every single person's life. Let us keep looking for the holy lessons that we can carry with us as our paths continue in the presence of God's Spirit and love.